Hi everybody, Wendylove here today. When I was growing up, my dad asked me, Wendy, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I answered back to him and I said, I can be whoever I want to be. When I was younger growing up, I was very much into art. I was very much into drawing, painting. That's usually what I did. It was one of the biggest hobbies I had. I had a little sketchbook and I would just sketch all day and I would just draw all day. It was just something I just truly loved to do. So there was this case that I saw that had like a handle on it that you could carry around, and it had oil paints, it had other paint in it, and it had pencils, it had sketching pencils, and it had a whole bunch of art things that you can use to draw or paint with, and I really wanted it super bad. Now when I was younger, my parents didn't have much money, so to have something that nice would be impossible. I didn't even think about asking my parents because I knew my dad worked hard enough as it is. But there was one Christmas where I opened it up and that's what it was. My dad had taken extra hours at work just to save up enough money to get it for me. And I loved it. I carried that case everywhere with me. It was always with me. And it was one of the things I loved the most. Everything was great. Middle school, early on, everything was really great. I had a lot of friends. I got along with everybody. I felt like I really fit in there. I did. But when I reached high school, that was a completely different story. It was completely different. I had to go to a new school. I didn't know anybody there. I was scared and I was stressed out because I thought I would never make any friends. Most of the time, my lunch hour at school was spent sitting in the cafeteria by myself, and I would be drawing and not paying attention really to anybody. The other girls were really mean to me. They would say my hair was too frizzy, my eyes were too big, I had a stupid voice, and my lips were weird, and oh my god, this just went on. So I just ignored all the bullshit and I would just paint or I would just draw on my own, so no one would, I didn't have to pay attention to any of that other bullshit that they were saying. There was this group of guys, okay, like friggin' everyone considered them the bad boys in school, like oh my god, everyone stayed away from them, everyone was scared of them apparently, and out of all the people in the school that they could decide to pick on, they chose me. I don't know what the problem was. Maybe they're looking for just someone who is on their own so they can pick on them or bully them. I don't know the reason, whatever, but they really did pick on me. Now, there was times where if I was in class and the teacher left to go print off some papers or do anything like that, these guys would push me out of my seat. They would take my books, take my pencils, take everything, break everything, rip everything. And the most hurtful thing out of that whole situation is that there's some people who laughed in the classroom, and then there's others who just sit there and don't want to do anything. That was the most hurtful thing about that situation. Everyone kind of had that attitude where, too bad for you, but if they're picking on you, they're leaving me alone. So around that time, there was a big art competition happening in my hometown. Now, my dad wanted me to enter really bad, so I decided I was going to. Now, while these guys continued to pick on me, I decided that I would ask my art teacher if I could have the keys to the art room during lunch hour so I could just be in there by myself. I'm on my own, no one's like calling me names, no one's insulting me, no one's picking on me, and I could just work on my painting for the competition. Now the art teacher said yes, so she gave me the keys, and that's where I spent my lunch hours, away from everybody, in that room just painting. That's what I did. Now there was one day where my friend knocked on the door and she wanted to come in. So I opened the door, knowing my luck, those guys were there by the lockers near the door, and one of them pushed it open because I couldn't close it fast enough, and they walked in and they literally took my painting that I was working on and they smashed it right in front of me. They took that art case that my dad bought me and they smashed everything. They took the paints, they threw them across the room, there's paint all over the floor, and they ruined everything. They destroyed it. It was completely destroyed. All I could do is just stand there and let them do it, and my friend couldn't do anything because she was scared, and Anyway, it ended up I had to clean up the mess because my art teacher, after the guys left, whatever, my art teacher came in and she got mad at me, blamed me for it, so I had to stay in detention after school, and I had to clean up oil paints and all these different other kinds of paint off the wall and off the floor. I was really angry when I had to do that, but when I think back now, I couldn't control the situation. I can't control what these guys did. You know what I mean? Like, I was disappointed. I lost my art case that my dad worked super hard to get for me. I was heartbroken, pretty much. So I decided I would work on my entry and I would enter back into the competition. Now, I spent most of my nights working on the painting. It took me about 3 weeks to complete because I was very down to detail and focusing on everything. Anyway, so whenever it came time to announce a winner, I actually heard my name on the radio as first place winner, and I freaked out. I was so happy. I remember I was like freaking out, and I couldn't stop smiling. I couldn't believe I won out of all the entries that they got. Now, first place, your art piece or your painting would be shown in the art museum on a certain day. It would be like displayed on the wall. It was really, really super cool. And this just goes to show that you can't let someone ruin something you love to do. Don't let people have that kind of control over you. You know, you can do great things. You gotta believe in yourself, but you can do great stuff. Just don't pay attention to negativity. And that's what I learned whenever that whole situation happened to me. I thought in my head, I'm not gonna let someone stop me from doing what I love to do. And you know what? If someone treats you badly, that's their karma. The way you handle it is yours. So I hope you enjoyed this story, guys. I'll be talking to you soon. I'm out!